G'day, that's Slot Car Guy here. Welcome back to a slot bike review, and I have two Scalextric MOTOGP bikes to show you, and a massive thank you to SCALEXSELLER. Yes, I did purchase these from him, and I'm wearing his new t-shirt, which I think looks pretty damn good. But stick around, let's do a full unboxing, a partial teardown, and unfortunately I can't do a hot lap. Why can't I do a hot lap? Well, stick around and I'll tell you why. Welcome back to another review, and yes, I've gone a little bit different here. I've gone motorbikes, but I thought if you're new to the hobby or if you don't know these existed, what a great way to show off some motorbikes. So I've gone two motorbikes, and of course a massive thank you to SCALEXSELLER, who I did purchase these from. Yes, I did purchase these from him. I highly recommend him. He's got some wonderful stuff on his site, so I will link him in, and I'm wearing his new t-shirt. This guy makes t-shirts. He makes stuff for your track. This is a nice quick little tire true that you can put on the track and true straight away, and also he makes his own, which I don't have, but his own mats that you can purchase. But check him out, really cool. I don't get any payment for this. This is genuinely a recommended seller from me. I did purchase these and he did throw the t-shirt at me, which I'll happily wear, so thank you, mate. But let's get stuck into these motorbikes. Why have I gone motorbikes? Well, I am a rider. I've had bikes in my time, not at the moment, but I will put some photos up of the bikes that my actual physical bikes that I did own. But it's something a bit different, and I thought, let's get into it, let's have a look. But there is a problem with the hot lap, and I will get into the reason why I can't do a proper hot lap with these. And if you've guessed already, hit the comments before I get to it, but there's a reason why I can't do a hot lap with these bikes. But let's have a quick look at them, quick look at the box itself. And because there's two, we'll do the box looking right here. Now, this guy's an absolute legend. Max Biaggi, 4 world titles, absolute superstar. Love that livery, the yellow and blue, the Max Biaggi yellow and blue. Absolute superstar of the sport. These stats are from up to date until 2003, and as you can see, there is a series of them you can collect, but this box is stamped 2004. What is his product code? C6001, Max Biaggi, and he's on a Honda, and this was badged 2004. Love Hondas, good looking bike, love the colors, yellow and blue. Someone else I know who likes yellow and blue, but I won't say who that is. He should be watching. The next bike though, I mean, I shouldn't be laughing because the bloke was in MotoGP, but unfortunately Mr. Neil Hodgson's, has only had 42 starts, and up to these stats, he had nothing else. I'm not familiar with him. Let me know in the comments if he did go on to make a better rider out of himself. But again, stats are up to date from 2003, part of the same series. And his product code is C6012, Neil Hodgson's Ducati. Yes, he's on a Ducati in the famous Reptile colours. Absolutely love those Reptile colours. So there we go. There's our box art. And just for you playing at home, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in the series. And of course, the doctor's in there. And if you're not familiar, he has retired. So very, very sad. So this is probably a bit of a tribute to him. I wish I had the doctor's bike, but I don't. But let's get into the unboxing, the teardown. Now, it's going to be a partial teardown. You'll see why when we get to it, because most of the stuff that makes this thing run is visible. So let's dive into the teardown, and then I'll tell you why I can't, unfortunately, do a hot lap. So let's take a close look at Scalextric MOTOGP bikes ×2, and I've gone back to the old format of viewing because these are a bit taller, a bit bigger, and I think the bike won't do justice from above. But let's quickly have a look at the livery itself, and of course, there you go, clear case. It is a lot skinnier, as you can see, and a lot taller, so these won't stack too friendly with your cars, I don't believe. But if you do collect all 15 of these, I think they would stack nicely. And look at that, I absolutely love these. I think, yes, unique, probably useless on my track where they were, but I think this is incredible. I love my bikes, and as I said, I do ride, and I've had some nice bikes in my time, but this is seriously exciting to me. One thing I think Scalextric has done, which they didn't have to, is add the bike stands. Now that is being clipped in there with some clips. They simply clip out, and of course you can rest the bike on the rear pegs when it's not in the slot, or even if it's in the slot, and rest it so the back wheel's off the ground. Really cool idea. I think that's great. But let's have a close look at Mr. Max's livery, and we'll use him first because he is the champion. I think they've executed these bikes really, really well. Now, it took me time to look at both of them together. There is some different designs, details on each bike, which I think is great. So let's start on this one first. Yellow and blue, beautiful color combination. I know someone who loves that, Greg. Looks really, really cool. Round to the front, single bubble screen. They do pop out, so be very careful. This one has popped out when I was trying to do the test run. The rider is posed very nicely. His hands are just resting on the handlebars, which these turn, the front wheel turns very slightly, not too much. But let's have a look at those front discs. I think they've done an incredible job, model-like on the front of this bike. Look at that. Obviously on both sides, but we'll just show one side, but really well done. Silver frame. So it's got a silver frame bike. Down to the side, we've got twin exhausts, one up and under the seat and one down the right side of the rider. This is where the issues start for me though. Not a design flaw. I run Carrera, so definitely nothing to do with design, but unfortunately I can't run it on my track very well because this tyre is directly driven from the motor, but of course being a motorbike, and as you can tell by the base, because it looks like a piece of track, it sits in the slot. So my Carrera slot is a lot wider than this tyre, so you can imagine this thing just sits there and spins. When it grips, takes off like a rocket. But it prefers to sit there and spin its wheels. So it's a bit unfortunate that I can't do a hot lap with it. But of course, if you've got Scalextric track, please throw some video my way. I love to see this thing because it took off like a rocket, then stopped. Took off, stopped. But let's go back around. I'm talking too much waffle now. The chain, really well executed. Really well executed. I think they've done an incredible job of modeling these things. Silver swing arm at the back. Nice rear mud flap or rear guard on the tire guard. But what's really cool, you can see the motor on the side of this one. So there's your motor. Inline, of course, not digital. If you can make this digital, please let me know, but I don't think you're going to squeeze any digital on there. Let's clip it out because it gets a little bit weirder. I'll take the rider off because we'll have a look at him separately. Hit his clips on and off. Let's take this out, and there's a couple of things I really like what they've done here. Now this big, let's talk about the arm, this big weird looking thing on the front. Of course, that's your guide, but that's also your balance arm. But what I'm happy they have done, they haven't added any trike wheels, meaning any wheels on the outside to give it, you know, if it rolls, you still got wheel effect on the outside. We only have the front and rear wheels or tires that are running this thing. Love that. Yep, if it wants to fall over, we've got some balance, but we're not cheating by having any wheels that's going to push us along. Really cool idea. Is it challenging to ride? I don't know because it kept stopping. That's my fault, not the bike's fault. Now the guide itself is a little bit further back from the front wheel. I think they've balanced it out nicely. There's a little bit of weight at the rear, but that appears, well, when I had it going on the track, I didn't want to fall over, but unfortunately I didn't have too much speed going through it. But another cool design is this is a magnet. This thing here, I'll zoom right in before I unclip it, is a button magnet. Hope you can see that properly in this black canister. Now this clips off. We'll give it a wiggle, and then don't lie to me, clips off like so. So there is your removable magnet. So let's move that out of the way so we can have a look at the rear. And of course, there is your motor up and underneath. But another thing I love, absolutely love about this, is it's direct driven to the rear wheel. So I'm gonna see if I can get some shine on it. Now inside this rear wheel is, there you go, is the teeth. So it's your, crown or spur gear. And inside there on the end of the motor is obviously your pinion. Let's see if we can get a bit of action. There you go. That I think is incredible. Now I wasn't going to show the other bike because it's Reptile. I love Reptile, but I wasn't going to show it because I thought they were the same. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at the rider because they are both poised the same. This is for sure. I think they've done a really good job. Don't believe it's 132. He looks too big to be 132, of course. He's too big to be 132. Design's good. The posture's good. It's a bit of plastic. Really like it. His hands just rest and cusp onto the handlebars. But the helmet design, really, really nice. Let's have a quick look at that. Black visor, but he looks like he's ready to go. And I like how he's got the crease lines in his leathers where he's, where it's sort of bending, I guess you could say, because his body's in that crouch position. Really cool. But let's take a quick look at the Reptile because there is some different design cues on this. Yes, the rider, I believe, is the same mold. Of course, different livery design on the rider. And look at that. I am a Reptile fan, so I'm probably being a little bit biased here, but that looks incredible. But where are the design changes? Well, the front end, we've got a single, not a double anymore, and I might pull both bikes up together. We've got a single screen on the front without the bubble. As you can see, the yellow one has a high-rise bubble in the center. Our front noses are different. We've got an air intake on the Ducati, where on the Honda, we've got no air intake. But I think the best changes are around the rear. And of course, Ducati ran at that time double underseat exhaust. You can't really see because it's black. He's got the double underseat exhaust. There you go. Where the Honda ran the two. Under seat and one beside the rider. Really, really cool. So only some slight changes there, but I think that's enough to make any collector want to collect them all, because I'm guessing the rest of the bikes, I'm hoping, will have their own little design cues. You know, a Honda's going to have the Honda stuff on it, Ducati's going to have the Ducati stuff on it, Suzuki, etc., etc. So really, really cool. Let me see if I can put him on there. That these are a different bike. So now I want to collect all of them. But look, do I recommend them? To be honest, it's my fault that it doesn't run on my track. I run Carrera. These weren't designed for Carrera, designed for Scalextric track or a smaller track. Unfortunately, I can't test run it, but the performance when it took off, holy moly, it hooked up. I might put some quick footage of it trying to take off. But yes, I do. If you're a collector, grab them. I would love to see this 6-lane wide and these all racing side by side, crashing and banging. I think that'd be great. But digital, I don't think you can. If you can, let me know, but I don't know where you're going to put a chip. Please prove me wrong, because this would be great if this was changing lanes. But yep, definitely recommend it for a collector. If you're a racer, I don't think you're going to get much joy out of this. I think these are absolutely stunning, and I will get many hours of joy, I think, out of trying to put it around my track. But as always, at That Slot Car Guy, and I did say I do like bikes. Here are a couple of my bikes that I have owned, my personal bikes. So again, I will collect the rest of these because I do like riding bikes. If you've got any bikes, tell me if you've ever ridden any in the comments. And also, have you ever raced these before? What have you done to tune these? Because I'll love to know if there's any tuning options for these bikes. But of course, thank you, SCALEXSELLER, mate. You've got some truly wonderful stuff. And I'm fully in support of what you do. So please check him out. And again, I did purchase these items from him, and I highly recommend him. So there you go, Scalextric MotoGP bikes. Are they for you? Let me know in the comments. If they're not, tell me why. But as always, at That Slot Car Guy on Instagram and YouTube. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be safe. Take care. Ciao.